This is Bumper to Bumper Radio, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. Bumper to Bumper, helping you and your car feel better. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Bumper Radio on a wet, rainy Saturday morning. I am Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen. This is Bumper to Bumper Radio, where we are helping you, the motoring public, have a better overall car repair experience. If you've got car questions, we've got car answers. So we encourage you to give us a call at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR, or you can email, text. Wow.
We don't want any faxing, right, Dave?
You can text questions to 411-923. Again, 411-923. And if you got questions, give us a call, and we'll take care of them. I
don't know what's going on here this morning, Dave. You got your arm in the air like you're trying to air out your armpit or hold up that microphone? Or what?
Having a rough morning, man. Rough morning. Not enough coffee, I don't think.
Well, when the sun is not shining, I'm bald, so my solar panels here on top of my head, I need that sun to soak in, but it's so a little bit off today. I'm a little disappointed. We've got a NASCAR race going on this weekend. Hopefully the rain doesn't keep up. And, keep some clear skies. But I guess we need one last blast of cold and wet before we can be spoiled with sun forever.
Well, I got the guys working at the shop today. We're just so busy that they're working Saturday. The doors are locked and the phone's not ringing, but they're getting some work done. And I was walking across the parking lot, and the transmission shop gets a little bit of oil in the parking lot. And it just barely rained in Tempe. And I literally fell on my butt.
Well, and that's the same thing with the car. When you get a little bit of rain, that's worse than having a lot of rain. And what we need, we made 67 days was the last I heard. So maybe we made it finally to 70 days without rain. And depending on where you are in the valley, if you got just a little bit of rain, that's the most dangerous kind of rain on the road, because that's just going to lift up a little bit of that oil and the gas and petroleum and all the stuff that is absorbed into the street. It's just going to bring it to the surface, and that is falling your butt slippery, right, Dave?
Exactly what I did.
Where we really need the rain to come down and lift that stuff up, get that oil out of the asphalt, and then rinse it off to the side. And now that street is nice and has better traction and is much safer to drive on. So that's just, I guess, one of our little tips of the day that everybody, I think, knows it but just forgets it.
The immediate thing that comes to mind is wiper blades and tires. I got my wife's oil changed at the car wash last week, and they called me because I was too busy to change her oil. Couldn't do it at my shop, so they called me. And
Sinner.
Shoe salesman's kid goes without shoes, or shoemaker's kid.
Yeah.
And they called me. They said, "Oh yeah, you needed a fuel service and you need a transmission service," and they're going down the line. And I said,
"Not
hey,
from the car wash, I don't."
I know. I said, "Does the car need wiper blades?" And then they go look, and they go, "Oh, yeah, they're horrible." And I knew they were terrible. I just wanted to see if they would catch the wiper blades. Literally, it was like metal. So if my wife would have turned the wiper blades on today, it would have gone, right across the windshield. But, if you can't see, you can't drive. It's
right.
Got to have wiper blades.
Yeah, you've got to have wiper blades. Now's a good time to go check those. And when you're replacing the wiper blades, that's something easy. Sometimes it's hard to do. I've been out there in the parking lot fighting them. But for the most part, get a good wiper blade assembly. Try not to go buy the $2-3 inserts. And there's a difference. You can go to the auto parts store and you can find one brand of wiper blade that's $2.99 and the other one is $14. They're not the same. There is a difference. They're starting to have silicone blades and just trying to make them last longer. So go turn one on right now. It's probably stuck to the windshield. And then the next thing, Dave, tires. That's easy to check. We should be checking that all the time anyway.
Always good tires. But you don't know it till it's time.
Yeah.
You hit the brakes and the car just doesn't stop. It just keeps going.
Yeah, no good, especially on a slippery street. And I think some of the other things to think about, you see people driving and riding in the right lane, and we used to hear problems. Oh, when it rains, my car won't start, and that used to be a more common thing, but not on a modern car. However, driving in that right lane, and you're blasting water, whether you're having fun splashing people, which you shouldn't be doing, or just driving, that water has got an immense amount of force behind it after you've hit it with the tire, and that's splashing up into the wheel well. That could go into wiring harnesses and into weather pack connectors, and you never know. Maybe there's a big, deep pothole in that puddle, too, and you start tearing up suspension. So be cautious with the water.
I don't ever see cars on the side of the road. When I was a young kid, it was a normal thing for cars to stall up. I just think they're sealed up better than they used to be. But water is one of those things that gets in a lot of little places, and it's not going to cause an issue today, but 2-3 years down the road, there's a little corrosion that starts in there. You know, a little bit of electricity, a little bit of electrolysis, and bad connections.
And rust, and some other things that you can do. If you park your car underneath where there's a tree or a bush or maybe some kind of fine materials or pine needles are falling in, we see it all the time at my shop, Dave. We open the hood to do a service on a car, and underneath around the windshield wipers at the base of the hood, the cowling area, it is just packed with leaves. So when it rains, that's like a sponge. It's just holding that moisture. That can promote rust. For the most part, it's not really a problem in Arizona, but throughout the country in certain areas it may be. But you want to get that out of there. Same with the sunroof drains. We see cars that come in. The sunroof drains, you probably have, if you have a sunroof in the car, there may be 4 drains. There's probably 2 at minimum in the front corners. And those get filled up with dirt and debris, and they get plugged up. That thing fills with water from the rain or even go to the car wash, and now you've got a water intrusion or a leak inside the car.
One thing we always remind is ABS brakes. ABS brakes. Today's a good day to go try them out in a parking lot just to see if they work. ABS brakes, ABS stands for Anti-Lock Brake System, but the guy from Bonneret says it's the ability to brake and steer. You can't steer if your tires are locked up, but if the ABS is working, you can still do some steering. But with ABS, you just want to plant your foot firmly on the pedal. You don't need to pulsate it. It ain't going to just mess things up, and you're going to hit them twice as hard.
Yeah, no pumping the brakes with ABS. That's for sure.
Well, I had a couple cars in the shop this week where I think as a consumer, I think it would be helpful for us to educate you guys on communicating with the shop and giving the shop all the information, all the things you think might be going on with the car or any repairs you just had a couple days earlier. Everything you can bring to them is going to help keep your cost of the repair down. It's going to shorten up your time at the shop. It's going to simplify it. Matt was talking about a vehicle that he had in his shop, and it was having some sort of weird electrical issue anytime they went to the car wash.
Well, yeah, you talk about water. I mean, this was a case where she had a problem every time she went to the car wash. Her turn signals would start acting funny. And, I mean, they weren't telling jokes. They were coming on when they weren't supposed to. You set the alarm. They didn't work. Middle of the night, the hazard lights or turn signals are coming on. And no, haven't had any work done. Nothing done in the car. Never been in an accident. We do a lot of quizzing, and sometimes people feel like we're really giving them the third degree. And so
which we are.
Well, because we need to know. We're not prying, but we need to know this information. And after some time, we're figuring it out, and we're like, have you had the windshield replaced recently? When did this start? Oh, yeah, it did. So in this case, we had a windshield that did not get put in right, and that water's running down and getting into some electrical components, nowhere near the hazards or the lights or the turn signal switch. It's completely opposite, passenger side of the car. But everything is related. As inconsequential as you think it may not be, we need to know it. It's going to help us.
We always ask this question, have you had any repairs in the last 30 days? And they just go, yeah, oil change. I mean, that's the way it's said. But no, like seriously, think about that question. New brakes, new tires, new windshield wiper blades, a new air filter. Anything counts here. Did you get a new car stereo? We had an email this week about a car stereo that caused some other problems in the vehicle. Was there anything that happened? That's all good information, and don't think it's too minute not to mention.
Yeah, all kinds. I mean, we see Volkswagens. We used to see a ton of them with problems when people would put the aftermarket stereo and then the check engine lights on, the connector. I mean, I've heard of a technician ruining a scan tool. We take our $700 or $1,000 scan tool to go plug into your car, and somebody wired something wrong, and they had a high voltage coming out of a pin in there that shouldn't have been, and he just ruined your scanner.
Your scanner only costs $1,000. You guys like Fisher Price scan tool over there, or what?
Yeah, right. No, we've got quite the collection of them in my shop, Dave. But as you know,
we do. We literally have a Volkswagen Eurovan at our shop, and the guy, the car's not shifting past second gear, and we check it out, and there's a huge dent in the bottom of the transmission pan, and it's got a hole in it. It's low on fluid, so we fix all that, and it still didn't shift past second. Well, the little temperature light's flashing on and off. And so we call the guy and we say, hey, we need to diagnose this because we think it's affecting the transmission. He said, oh, yeah, no, I just had that worked on at the last shop. Wow. That would have saved me like an hour.
Well, yeah, and a day and a half ago when we asked you about this, and having work done also means my husband, my friend, my whatever tried something or did something. Just because it didn't go to a repair shop doesn't mean work wasn't done. I mean, we've checked, diagnosed a check engine light. Have you had any work done? No. Well, we found this thing disconnected. Oh, my so-and-so put an air filter in this weekend. Well, that's
right.
Still part of the story.
Can save you money. So when we come back, we'll be talking about Good Guys Car Show coming up next week, and we've got open phones at 602-277-5827. You're listening to Bumper Radio.
Have you been in a car accident? Hi, John Fox here from New Image Paint and Body with a couple quick tips. First, you decide where to repair your car, not your insurance company. And second, go where your friends, neighbors, and the pros have gone since 1988. New Image Paint and Body. Recognized as iCar Gold Class, the industry's highest recognition and certification, New Image Paint and Body uses iCar Platinum Certified technicians to return your car to showroom new condition with original equipment manufacturer parts and the industry's best paints in Glazerite and BASF. A+ rated by the BBB and Bumper to Bumper radio approved. We're dedicated to serving you, not your insurance company. So if you've been in an accident, take all the anxiety out of your repair. Make your first call the right call to New Image Paint and Body. With one call, we handle it all. Towing, rental car, and all the arrangements with your insurance company. For an appointment or for more real customer reviews, check us out online at newimagepaintandbody.com or call 480-921-DENT.
It's the Good Guys' 5th Spring Nationals in Westworld and Scottsdale, March 7th to the 9th. Spend 3 days in the Valley of the Sun with the Good Guys. Check out over 2,500 classic American vehicles in our giant show and shine, including hot rods, customs, muscle cars, and trucks. Visit vendor exhibits, shop the swap meet and cars for sale corral. Plus, enjoy free fun stuff for the kids. For tickets and details, visit good-guys.com. Good Guys, full throttle fun.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family-owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, oh yeah, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
You're listening to Bumper on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen. Today we are enjoying the wet weather, other than me laying on my butt in the parking lot of my business.
A little slickery out there, Dave.
Oh, man, it was just kind of one of those moments. You know, I kind of looked around, made sure none of my employees saw, you know.
Is that on the surveillance tapes? I'm going to call somebody down there. I want to. We'll get that posted on the Bumper website. Dave falling on his tail side in the parking lot because of the slick parking lot.
For sure. This is my favorite time of year because we've got the Good Guys Car Show coming up this next weekend, March 7th through 9th at Westworld in Scottsdale. And I believe we got Betsy Bennentt on the line, who joins us every year to tell us about the car show. Hey, Betsy, are you with us?
I am here.
Well, I guess you're probably very happy that it's raining this weekend in Phoenix, and we're hoping for bright, sunny, clear skies next weekend for the event, right?
Yeah, we are too. I saw the weather down there, and I thought, well, I know I hate it that you're getting the rain, but it's easier on us if it happens this weekend versus next weekend for sure.
Yeah, let the NASCAR guys and the rodeo guys have the rain this weekend.
I know. It's too bad. You guys have, other than, a few bouts of rain, you have pretty awesome weather, which is why this event is so popular with so many people.
Well, for those who don't know, what the heck is the Good Guys Car Show that's going to be happening this next weekend?
Well, the event next weekend is the 5th edition of what we call our Spring Nationals, and it's actually the kickoff to our 2014 event season. So We'll be opening up the season next weekend at West World, and we'll have around 2,500 hot rods, customs, classics, trucks, muscle cars on display during that event weekend. So it's a great weekend of a lot of cars, it's kind of a history lesson on wheels for people. You can see all these great old cars. And then we actually have All-American Sunday, which is on Sunday the 9th, for the later model cars. So we have a broader spectrum this year at most of our events, again, like we had last year. And that's turned out to be a really fun feature that we added to these events.
Every once in a while, at all the shows that I've been to out there, there's always some kind of special event happening and some really cool thing that you're doing. Are there any other special features this year? What's the one thing to look out for this year?
You know, I think the one thing that's still really wildly popular at all of our events is the autocross, and I think you guys have been out there to see that. Have you taken part in that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They wouldn't let me on the track with my Honda Element.
Oh, they should, right? But the autocross is a great feature. It's great for the participants because if you register your car in the show, then you're eligible to run the autocross. It's all included. So it's a great added fun thing for them, and for people who don't know what the autocross is, it's actually a closed performance timed race course, so you're racing the clock. And for the spectators, it's a great visual. It's loud, and there's a lot of tight turns in the cross sections, and so it's a lot of fun to watch too.
Well, and I think one thing that people might think of a car show, they think it's just a bunch of gearheads or guys out there at the car show, but this is really just a family event. I mean, there's stuff for kids to do. Face painting, there's booths, there's not a yard sale, but a swap meet types thing. And so what are some of the other details, and where can people find out the details of the event? I imagine there's a website and a place to buy tickets and such.
Right. Yeah, there is. And actually, we try and make sure that throughout the course of the weekend we have kind of a festival atmosphere. So you're right. We have the kids area where there's face painting and games for the kids. We have a model car show. We have a make and take, which is a section where Revell donates model car kits, and the kids get to actually get a model car kit free of charge and create the kit into a vehicle and take it home as a souvenir. So we try and involve the kids in this too, and give everybody something fun to experience. And if people want to get the actual event schedule, or if they need further information, our website is www.good-guys.com. So you have to have that dash between the word good and the word guys. And then when you get to the site, you want to go to 2014 events, and it'll pull up the listing, and you'll find the page for the Spring Nationals. And there's a lot of great information on there. There's hotels, if people still need a hotel room if they're coming in from out of town. So there's a lot of great information on that site.
Great. Well, we're looking forward to being out there next weekend too. I know Dave and I will be making some stops and checking out the event. So maybe we'll see you out there.
Okay. Bring the sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thanks for being with us. We also put a link to it on the homepage at bumpertobumperradio.com. You can click on it there if you didn't get all that information. So we are going to go with Bill in Chandler on a 2001 Toyota Tundra. Go ahead, Bill. You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
I called to thank you. I called last week, and I didn't get on the air, but I believe I spoke to Dave, and I mentioned that I'd gone stem to stern on my 01 Tundra with everything, and per your recommendation, like a year ago, I started listening to you guys. I had the idler gears and everything done on the when I replaced the timing bells and all of that, and I was so grateful to have that knowledge. You sent me to ADS, and you gave me two guys. I went down to these ADS guys on Chandler Boulevard. I'll tell you what, they are aces, those guys. No, I'm not kidding. I can't thank you enough. I mean, the entire experience after they did the inspection, which is what I wanted, what's wrong with my vehicle, the guy took me out into the garage, thing was on the lift, showed me everything. It turns out it was rather costly, but I don't care. I just want it right. So I had to replace the rack and pinion that was leaking. He could tell from the boot, and he showed me everything. But I got it all squared away, and I feel like, thanks to you guys, I could take that thing to Boston and back and be as good as any car on the road. And I just wanted to thank you guys.
Well, Bill, thanks, and thanks for calling. We definitely appreciate these follow-ups. It's nice to know that when we're here helping people and doing what we can do, I mean, that's really what we're here for, Dave and I. to talk to you every week and help you be confident about your repairs on your car and understand what's happening or understand the right questions to ask. But not only that, to have you in a comfort level when you go to a shop like ADS. I mean, if Greg is listening, kudos to you, Greg, and all the staff there. But that's one of the shops. If you're in the South Tempe area, Chandler, you're right off of I-10 and
Chandler
Boulevard, and it's a great shop. And I call Greg once in a while. He calls me. We share tools. We talk to a technician. I mean, this is a network of shops that are really out to do good things. And if we can help each other too, that's great. It's really reaffirms why we're here.
Well, I remember talking to Bill last week just after the show. Some of the calls we can't get to during the show, so we take calls after the show. And Bill said, "Hey, I just want to know everything that's wrong with the car because I do want to drive it to Boston next week." You know, that's the kind of confidence you want to have when you get in your car. You can be a little lighter on maintenance and things that you repair. It's what is the use of the car? You know, is it A to B, round town type of thing, or is it something we're going to go interstate travel?
Well, and like Bill said, I want to know everything about my car. So as a consumer, you shouldn't be afraid to get that list. It's just, you know, I make the joke. I don't want to step on the scale every morning and look, but you've got to do it to keep yourself in check.
I was going to say something about you this morning. Did you get on the scale?
Hey. I did have a donut, but you need to know everything, and when you know everything about the car, you can make better decisions on fixing it.
We've got Bill and Ruth coming up, 602-277-5827. You're listening to Bumper Radio.
Hi, this is Greg LaFonsi of Automotive Diagnostic Specialties. Yes, we realize this is a long name to remember, but most of our customers know us simply as ADS. ADS is a family-owned and operated, state-of-the-art, full-service automotive repair facility with an expert staff that has helped us earn the coveted AAA Top Shop Award as one of the best shops in the nation for the second straight year in a row. We are honored, humbled, and dedicated to providing the same level of service to you and your family. We will always strive to get it done right the first time so that you will leave with a smile on your face after every repair or service. ADS is a bumper-to-bumper radio approved shop with a long name but a short, simple goal. Customer satisfaction is our number one priority, and everything else takes care of itself. Just east of I-10 on Chandler Boulevard, ADS proudly serves Ahwatukee, Chandler, Tempe, Gilbert, and Southeast Phoenix. Stop by or check us out at automotivediagnosticspecialties.com today.
Hi, I'm Scott, General Manager with Whitey's Auto Repair here in South Scottsdale. We built a reputation for quality auto service and repair for over 45 years, and our customers have come to trust us for our recommendations. We value that trust, and that's why when it comes to transmissions for the past several decades, we have been recommending Tri-City Transmission. They have yet to disappoint. I feel so strongly about it, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Why would you? Google them online today at TriCityTransmission.com. Go where the pros go. Tri-City Transmission.
Could you be part of the action? Come join me, Stacey Lewis, as I take on the top LPGA golfers in the world at the LPGA Founders Cup, taking place March 18th through the 23rd at Wildfire Golf Club. Last year, the tournament raised more than $500,000 for girls golf, and we hope with your support we can increase that number in 2014. Tickets are available online now at LPGAFoundersCup.com or buy them at our official ticket outlet, Vans Golf Shops. See you on the course.
After 14 years in the States, mostly spent here in the Valley, I was getting bloody frustrated with the treatment I was receiving from dealerships on the maintenance and repairs of my vehicles. I finally reached out to a friend who told me I was crazy not to try Virginia Auto Service. Being a mom with a busy schedule, children, and work, I took my friend's advice and gave Virginia a try. What a refreshing difference. From the first step through their doors, their staff was accommodating and understanding. Robert explained in plain English what I needed to have done, but also why. They went out of their way to make sure that the experience was convenient, with door-to-door shuttle service by a lovely man named Bergie. Several years and a number of visits later, the experience is always the same. They tell me what is necessary right now and what is not. This is Victoria, and I don't know much about cars, but I do know that from boot to bonnet, Virginia Auto Service knows how to take care of their customers. Check them out online at virginiaautoservice.com.
It's the Good Guys' 5th Spring Nationals in Westworld and Scottsdale, March 7th through the 9th. Spend 3 days in the Valley of the Sun with the Good Guys. Check out over 2,500 classic American vehicles in our giant show and shine, including hot rods, customs, muscle cars, and trucks. Visit vendor exhibits, shop the swap meet and cars for sale corral. Plus, enjoy free fun stuff for the kids. For tickets and details, visit good-guys.com. Good Guys, full throttle fun.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
My pappy said, son, you're going to drive me to drinking if you don't stop driving that hot rod Lincoln.
Bumper to Bumper on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
Welcome back to Bumper Radio. I'm Matt Allen. This guy over here helping me out is Dave Riccio. And I don't know, Dave, it's just not flowing today. This gloomy, cloudy, dark sky. I particularly myself, I enjoy the sunshine.
I could never live in Seattle. There'd be no way. I would be eternally depressed.
I mean, it's nice every now and then, but I guess if we didn't get some bad weather, then everybody would be here.
I notice when people move here, they never leave. You know, and I don't want to leave. I've always lived here.
No.
Why go anywhere else?
This is it. Or Mexico on the beach somewhere. That's about it for me. So again, Dave and I are here, Bumper to Bumper Radio, every Saturday, helping you with your car. Anything you want to talk about, you got a car question or a car problem and need some help or advice, give us a call, 602-277-5827. It's 602-277-KTAR. And
we've got Beth, Ruthie, Brian, and we're going to go with Steve in Casa Grande on a 2000 Lincoln LS. Hey, Steve, welcome to Bumper Radio.
Thank you for having me, gentlemen. I just did the brakes on the Lincoln, and that solved a bunch of problems. But when I was backing out to test the brake, I heard this loud thud whenever I press and depress the brakes. It sounds like it's coming from the front end. I'm not sure if it's maybe a transmission problem or maybe the front brakes are starting to go, but it's a distinctive thud when you press the brakes and then when you depress the brakes.
Okay. Was that noise there before you did the brakes?
Not that I can remember.
Not that you remember? Because you made one comment. You said, I fixed the brakes, and that took care of a lot of problems. So what else was happening with the brakes? Now, what does I did the brakes mean?
Okay, no, I'm sorry. I replaced the brake pads and the rotors on the rear brakes. Okay. And they were extremely worn.
Okay.
And it was my girlfriend's car, and when I took a look at it, there was the whole back end was rumbling because of it was metal on metal, and the rotors were worn down.
Sure. Okay.
But I don't remember the thud, but that could be just because of the rumbling in the rear end.
Sure. Well, I guess what I'm thinking is you might have, if it wasn't there before, you're going to just need to go back and double check all the work that you did. Make sure that the bolts that are holding the caliper up to the spindle are held down tight, and then there's more bolts that are going to actually hold the hydraulic portion to the bracket, for the brake caliper bracket. You're going to want to make sure those are tight. Make sure that the brake pad hardware is on, because when you step on the brake just a little bit, those brake pads are going to touch and grip, and if there's nothing holding them in place, they're going to shift. Even just that eighth of an inch of movement could get you a very loud metallic noise. Make sure that is all done properly. And then if everything is still intact, you could be looking at maybe a control arm bushing or something like that. But, I just redid a whole brake job on a guy's car this week that had, had a friend work on it for a couple $100 in a 12-pack, and it cost them dearly because they didn't tighten some bolts right and some stuff fell apart. So you really need to be cautious when you're doing that stuff, whether it's on your own car.
I do great work for a 12-pack and a pizza.
Yeah.
But, I think he said, he couldn't hear anything else beforehand because the back brakes were making so much noise Now that that's gone, now we're we're thinking about everything that may be going on. So that noise may have been there all along. It's sometimes when we fix cars, there's this huge, massive head wound going on. We take care of that, and then, now there's a scrape on the elbow, and now we're noticing that because we're paying attention to it.
Right.
Where it may have been there all along. So that's one thing to consider, too.
And sometimes it takes two people. You might have somebody ride around in the back of the car, or we go out in the parking lot at the shop and maybe drive 5 feet, and someone's literally jogging next to the car, hanging out the window, trying to find these noises and at least pinpoint an area. There can be such odd things. It's like talking about rain. The roof, where the water's dripping, never where the roof leak is. Same thing on the car. Where you hear the noise, oftentimes is not where that noise really originates. They can be difficult to chase down.
I would say brake jobs are still one of those kind of DIY jobs that happens. People are still doing brake jobs. They are getting, some of these late model, like European cars, can get a little bit dangerous with some high brake pressures, that type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
So just make sure if you are doing work like that in your driveway, support the vehicle. Jack stands. Don't trust, floor jack to hold the thing up while you're working on the brakes.
Ooh.
Bad idea. And then also get a manual. That way you make sure there's nothing safety-related that you're not aware of. We are going to go with Ruthie in Gilbert on a 2008 Hyundai Santa Fe. Go ahead, Ruthie. You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi, guys. Well, I'll tell you what I have. I'm on my car. All of a sudden, I was hearing a kind of a walk, 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 walk kind of noise. It sounded like as I would accelerate, as I got to 65, it'd get louder inside the car. And I took it back to Discount Tire because I'd bought my tires there, and they rotated my tires for me. The tires are like maybe 6 months old, so they're all new. He said everything looked good, and he said, let's rotate. And he said it could be an alignment problem, So he did that, and it really didn't make any difference. It was just a really loud kind of wah, 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 wah kind of noise.
Did your wah, wah, wah seem to move when they moved the tires? Does the steering wheel feel any different or anything?
The steering wheel, not everything, no vibration in the steering wheel, no pulls from one way or the other. The car drove excellent. It just had that loud noise, and getting like 60, 65, it was much worse.
Can you feel that noise? Do you feel it like in the floorboard or in the gas pedal?
No, I can't. Now, just what I took it into the dealer, and I said, I told them what was going on. And they called me and told me that, and on their little thing here it says that the tires are cupping. Now, these tires aren't hardly 6 months old, and I drive like 6 miles to work. They look great. I mean, just because they look fine, and it's the same kind of tires I've always had on my car. And the sound started like within a day or two. I mean, it was when I noticed it. They did an alignment on my car, and they told me because my car was a 2008 that there was some kind of little package kit or something that the alignment wouldn't take care of it, that they had to order some kind of little package kit that sometimes you have to order on cars that are older or have a lot more mileage. I have about 70,000 miles on my car.
Okay.
Does that sound...
I think I know what's going on. And Ruthie, you may want to follow us up. If we don't fully answer your question for you, go to bumpertobumperradio.com and send me an email. This is Matt, and we'll help walk you through this. But originally, Dave, I'm thinking tires, because the tires will get that choppy wear pattern in them, and that's going down the road. Almost if you drive next to, say, maybe a lifted truck on the highway, a lot of tire noise. But then Dave and I were kind of passing some notes, and we said tires to ourselves. But then you rotate them, so then tires go away. And then Dave, then what are we thinking?
Bearing.
But now I'm back to tires again because of the way she described it and what the dealer said. So, in Ruthie, I think what was happening is Discount may have moved the tires and rotated them, and it may or may not have changed the noise. And what you could be hearing is that tire just kind of slapping the road, going around. And then what they were talking about at the dealership, they did your alignment, but there's some adjustments.
Camber kits.
There's camber, caster, and toe. Those are all three angles when we're talking about automotive alignment. On many cars, the caster or the camber cannot be adjusted from the factory. It's just a factory setting. But then in the aftermarket, when we go do an alignment and we measure everything on the car, measuring's the majority of the work. We've got to get all the measurements done first. And then if there's no adjustment, there's a kit. and we put that kit in the rear suspension on the right side or the left side, maybe it's on the front, and that kit allows us to do what the manufacturer didn't provision for when the car was brand new. So you could still have a tire problem, even though the tires are only 6 months old. If they've got that wear pattern developed into them, it's there. It's just the way it is. But the thing that concerns me about rotating the tires, if you did that to the rear tires and now they're in the front and the fronts didn't have that pattern in them, we're going to very quickly wear that pattern into the rear tires. I know this answer is getting long, Dave, but
once you feather a tire pretty good, you're never going to get rid of it. That tire's just going to be noisy. I mean, you can rotate them and cross-rotate them so they go the other direction to try and pick up some of that cupping, fix it up. But for everyone listening, you really should be getting an alignment check when you're getting tires.
Yeah.
Because you can burn up tires pretty quick in a hurry and, just spend a lot of good money on those tires. And then it shouldn't be, some of these, I don't know if some people are really aligning these cars. I know there's some quickie coupon type alignment type things.
Dave, well, we've got some time. So the other thing, and today's not a good day, and we'll come back to the alignments in a second, Dave, but I want to talk about the tires for a second. And I can walk up to a car and tell people you have an alignment problem or you have a tire problem. And how do you know? That's magic. And it's really not. On any car, look at the tire. And today's a bad day because the streets are wet. But if we haven't had any rain in a while and the streets are dusty, you can actually look at a tire and you can see on a pattern. Take a front-wheel drive car and look at the rear tires, and you'll see that on the inner tread, one will be dirty with dust and one will be perfectly clean. And then the next tread as you go around the tire. And that's because that tire is out of alignment. That wheel is out of alignment and that tire is wearing unevenly. So that's something easy that you can look at to be an indicator of a worn tire or a bad strut or something causing that problem. And Ruthie, that's not an old car by any means. 2008 is not an old car. So don't think that there's some special. Don't let somebody make you believe that your car is an old car and it's just the way it is. We can make that car perfect.
Well, thanks for the call, Ruthie. We're going to go with Beth in Phoenix on a 2004 Ford Escape. Go ahead, Beth. You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yes, I'm having trouble with my transmission. It started a few months ago with it's slipping. So we did a diagnostic test, and it showed a bad sensor. So we replaced the sensor, and it solved it for about 2 weeks. Then I lost first gear, and I started driving it like a stick shift, starting out in second, going to drive, and now I've lost first and second. And we're thinking we got a bad sensor because the transmission fluid is completely clean. And before I replace the transmission, I want to know your opinion.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, there's still some more diagnostic work to be done. Sometimes when a transmission is starting to have an issue, it can cause a sensor to go bad because those sensors, it's all based on magnetic pickup, and you can get some fuzz on the end of that sensor where the sensor quits reading, and then we replace the sensor, and hey, everything goes back to working. And then, it just happens again in another couple weeks. So that's one thing I'm thinking of.
Or it could have been that the sensor never really fixed it. Once you had the battery disconnected, the computer unhooked, and the code cleared out, you put in the sensor, and it just took 2 weeks for you to meet the criteria again to make that light come back on for the same circumstances. So the sensor very well could have done absolutely nothing, right?
That's true. I mean, we can have a failing. We need to decide whether we have a transmission issue or we have a transmission control issue. And the way we're going to diagnose that is we're going to look at the scanner, and we're going to see, we're not just looking for codes, when we plug into a car, so much as we're looking at the data. And so there's it's like the Matrix. You're looking at data. What gear are we in? Which solenoid is on? Which solenoid is off? And the transmission is only going to do what it's told to do. So if the computer is not commanding it to shift into first or commanding it to shift into second, well, we may very well have a problem. And it sounds like you're able to make it work manually as opposed to letting the car take over.
Ruthie, where in Phoenix are you?
I'm in North Phoenix.
North Phoenix, okay. Well, I mean, Dave, your shop, Tri-City Transmission, is in Tempe, and it's worth the drive. So if you have an excuse to go to Tempe and you need a transmission problem, that's one of those experiences. That's like buying the refrigerator or buying the TV, or maybe you're not buying the transmission. More importantly, you're just getting a repair. It's worth the try. But then in North Phoenix, too, there's Kurt's Auto Repair, who works a lot with Tri-City Transmission. And if you end up needing a transmission problem, that's it may wind up back with Dave anyway. So go to bumpertobumperradio.com and take a look, and you'll find Tri-City Transmission there, as long as other shops that can help you with that, and hopefully get that taken care of.
When we come back, we've got Brian, Mark, and Eric. You're listening to Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Could you be part of the action? Come join me, Stacey Lewis, as I take on the top LPGA golfers in the world at the LPGA Founders Cup, taking place March 18th through the 23rd at Wildfire Golf Club. Last year, the tournament raised more than $500,000 for girls golf, and we hope with your support we can increase that number in 2014. Tickets are available online now at lpgafounderscup.com or buy them at our official ticket outlet, Vans Golf Shops. See you on the course.
Hi, I'm Scott, General Manager with Whitey's Auto Repair here in South Scottsdale. We built a reputation for quality auto service and repair for over 45 years, and our customers have come to trust us for our recommendations. We value that trust, and that's why when it comes to transmissions, for the past several decades, we have been recommending Tri-City Transmission. They have yet to disappoint. I feel so strongly about it, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Why would you? Google them online today at tricitytransmission.com. Go where the pros go. Tri-City Transmission.
In life, there are certain relationships outside of family and friends that are important. For instance, if your car breaks down, you want to have a relationship with an auto repair shop that you trust to repair your car. The same goes for your doctor, your accountant, and your attorney. Why? Because the services they provide involve health and financial decisions, and it's important to hire a trusted professional. This same principle applies to real estate. Hi, I'm Lisa Henry with Russ Lyon Sotheby's International Realty. For most of us, our home is the largest financial commitment and asset we will own in our lifetime. So when you decide to sell, it's important to hire a professional, knowledgeable real estate agent that you can trust to represent your interests and provide the best customer service available. If you would like a consultation to help determine the value and discuss a comprehensive marketing plan to sell your home, please visit my website at lisareneehenry.com. That's Lisa Renee, R-E-N-E-E, Henry.com. Come experience the difference a great real estate agent can make.
Bumper to Bumper on News Talk 92.3 KTAR.
Welcome back to Bumper Radio on a rainy Saturday morning. I guess you're not going to go hiking today.
I wasn't going hiking anyway.
I knew you wouldn't. Anyway,
I'm not going to the race, though.
I'm not going to the race either. I got tickets to the spring training game for the Cubs. I gave them away. I was like, yeah, you can have them.
Good idea.
Good luck.
Yeah, the race may not be so much fun today either, but who knows? We'll see.
So, anyway, up first this segment, we are going to go with Brian on Phoenix. He's got a 2006 Ford Escape. Go ahead, Brian. You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Good. 06 Ford Escape, 110,000. When we come up to a stop light, stop sign, the whole friggin' front end shakes. I mean, you can't even hold your coffee. Somebody's telling me it's the front motor mount because the front motor mount gets all the torque from a front-wheel drive vehicle.
Not typically when you're coming. Now, is this happening during the process of stopping or once you've already come to a stop?
Complete stop.
So you're at a stop and the thing is shaking the teeth out of your mouth?
Yes.
Okay. I would be going along with the motor mount, Dave.
Well, I was thinking, I mean, initially, because, you get some wicked brake pulsations when you got some brake rotors that are warped. So that's what I was thinking right off the bat until he said, well,
brand new brakes, rotor's been turned, brand new plugs, brand new fuel filter.
Okay.
Recently gone through, and I'm thinking it's the front motor mount is shot.
Well, and if the front motor mount is shot, chances are maybe some of the other ones are shot too. Because having just one bad mount on that car, I don't believe is going to give us the sensation the way you describe it. It's just you can't even hang on to your coffee because it's shaking the car. So at 110,000 miles, I put my money on that. You probably need all the mounts. Is one of them broken worse than the others? You bet it probably is, but I wouldn't be afraid to go there for sure with the mounts. And the other thing on engine mounts, don't go cheap Charlie. Do
you know him?
No, I have a couple Cheap Charlies that I know. Sometimes I'm Jeep Charlie.
Yeah.
But you want to make sure that the shop that you choose is using a original equipment mount.
You cannot go wrong with original equipment mounts. Aftermarket mounts, just don't waste your money. Like Matt likes to say, go donate it to a charity. You'd be better off. A lot of these things, you put them on, literally they're bad in 6 months. or less.
Or they were never even good anyway.
And even though they look good, they don't work good. They don't absorb that vibration. So thanks so much for the call, Brian. We're going to go with Eric on a 2004 Acura MDX. Go ahead, Eric. You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi.
Hi, Eric. What can we help you with?
Yeah, I took this vehicle. I've just owned it since end of November. Bought it with 77,000 miles on it. Really great shape. But I had a recall, which I took it in for on the ignition switch. While I was in there, they told me at the dealer that it would probably be a good idea to get the timing belt changed. I just wanted to understand, because they said they recommend doing it at 60,000 miles because of the severe temperatures here in the valley. And I'm right around 79,000 on that, just in the short time we've had it. So just trying to understand, is that a good idea, or do I still have time, or is it, if this breaks, am I really in trouble?
Well, there's several answers there, and we're going to take them all. If it really breaks, are you in trouble? Yes, you are in trouble. Second thing is 60,000 miles. Don't waste your money. If it was my car, I would not do it that early. I can almost guarantee 99.99% that Honda or Acura dealer is not ever going to be able to cite to you one example on a 2004 or newer Acura where the timing belt broke prior to 105,000 miles. So in my opinion, you are wasting your money. Do not do it at 60,000. Don't do it at 70,000. If you look in the owner's manual, it probably is 105,000 miles, and then on top of that, there's going to be an asterisk, and it's going to say under severe conditions, and it will have a definition of severe condition, which is consistently above 190 degrees or whatever the temperature range is. And then you have to ask yourself, what does consistently mean? I guess we thank the attorneys for having to have all the different definitions. But in my book, we are not consistently above 119 degrees or 110 degrees. We're consistently above that 3 months out of the year.
And it's only 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's not morning when you drive to work and evening when you come home.
I think there's a little bit of aggressive selling there. And they can lower the price and do a time belt. It's a commodity item. They can blow it in and blow it out, and it's no big deal. If it were me, I would do it at 90,000 or 105,000. Probably 105 is okay, but it's up to you. You bought it used. You're going to have it for a while. If it puts you in a comfort zone to do it at 90,000, just go ahead and do it then. But you're completely fine till 105 as well. Secondary to that, you don't want to do just the timing belt. You're going to do the timing belt, the water pump, the tensioners, the idler. You're going to do that whole deal, the whole package in there, and then you're not going to mess around with it for another 90 or 105,000 miles more likely.
You know, the timing belt is one of those that I really know or I see as the two-step seller. And you ask me, what the heck is a two-step seller, Dave? Well, the two-step seller is where it's a manipulative sales process where they run a coupon for a timing belt for $3.95. You know, commodity item. And then the reality is you need a lot of other things other than just the timing belt. And as consumers, you guys pick up the phone and call this shop and that shop. Say, how much for a timing belt? How much for a timing belt? How much for a timing belt? Some shops will take the time to explain, well, you're going to need this, and you're going to need that, and you're going to need the other. Well, that's a lot of sales labor. It's just easier to say $3.95, and then once we have the car apart, then we'll say, oh, yeah, we should probably take care of that water pump, and we should probably take care of that tensioner and that idler, and, you know, the price is really this much money.
Yeah.
And it's a two-step seller, and I'm not crazy about it. You should know all that up front before, you know, well, you still have a choice, but once your car's taken apart, well, you'd be crazy not to do that stuff.
Yeah, that belt is not breaking. Now, on Hyundais and Kias, those cars have got so much better. I'm talking Hyundai and Kia in the last handful of years, but we used to see those, and, man, we were saying 60,000 miles because those belts were breaking at 62,000, 63,000, and they were recommended at 60. So I think on that one, Mark, Eric, take your time, save your money, and find another shop at bumpertobumperradio.com.
And if you're looking for a great shop, bumpertobumperradio.com. You're going to find a list of shops that are handpicked by Matt and Dave and Michael and myself. I named myself twice. Look at that. And anyway, we'll see you next week.
Next to your family, there's nothing more precious than your castle, right? Kaiko Roofing understands that, which is why we are crazy about quality and protecting you, your loved ones, and your biggest investment. Don't wait for an emergency at your castle. If your roof is more than 10 years old, have the trusted pros at Kaiko Roofing give you a free inspection today. Flat, foam, tile, or shingle, Kaiko handles them all. From a small leak to a complete new roof, Kaiko has you covered. At Kaiko, we're proud to install peace of mind by using only the finest materials with the most skilled workers, all backed by the industry's best owner's pride guarantee. Since 1994, Kaiko has repaired or replaced tens of thousands of valley roofs, with over 50% of our business coming from referrals or repeat customers. In fact, over 98% of our customers say they would refer us to a friend or family member. For a free checkup and financing options, call 602-944-4600 or go to KaikoRoofing.com for more details. Kaiko Roofing. We're crazy about quality.
It's the Good Guys 5th Spring Nationals in Westworld and Scottsdale, March 7th through the 9th. Spend 3 days in the Valley of the Sun with the Good Guys. Check out over 2,500 classic American vehicles in our giant show and shine, including hot rods, customs, muscle cars, and trucks. Visit vendor exhibits, shop the swap meet and cars for sale corral. Plus, enjoy free fun stuff for the kids. For tickets and details, visit good-guys.com. Good Guys, full throttle fun.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Dave.
We're the car guys from the Bumper to Bumper radio show, heard right here on News Talk 92.3 KTAR every Saturday from 11 to noon.
Bumper to Bumper Radio, it's just like your favorite warm and comfy blanket for all your automotive needs.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Dave. And we're here not just on Saturdays, but 24/7 at bumpertobumperradio.com for all the very best repair and service shops in Phoenix.
Yep, right advice.